Patrick McNeil back here with you at the intermission as it's time now for another special installment of Inside Quebec as we hear from Dawson Mercer of the Chicoutimi Saguenéens, who was, of course, attending Team Canada's training camp for the World Juniors. But before we talk about that, Dawson, what are your thoughts on what has been a bizarre season thus far for the Sags?
It's obviously been a different season than the other three I've played in the Q, but I think obviously right now we're pretty fortunate to be back practicing and playing, and I think obviously we got a couple games. The Maritimes is doing really good, but we've after got 5 games played, and I'm happy with that. And the guys are going through the Quebec bubble right now, and we're heading off for the World Junior bubble, so I think all of it's going pretty good.
You talked about the bubbles. We hear about the Quebec kids coming east, where they knew the Maritimes was going to be playing. How bizarre was that to be going the other way, to be leaving Newfoundland, where it was pretty safe, and you go into Quebec, where you weren't sure if you were going to be playing any games? What was your mentality like heading into the season?
Yeah, do everything what you can control. There's a lot of just making sure you're keeping safe and going by all the rules, the hand sanitizing, wearing your mask. And me personally, I know I really don't want to get the COVID. I've been fortunate right now that I haven't, and I'm going to keep doing whatever I can not to receive it. And also just focus on the hockey. That's what I've been doing my full life, and that's what I'm here in Quebec for. I'm going to keep working towards my goals.
Earlier, we had Liam Leonard on the broadcast, who, like yourself, is a Newfoundlander, and he talked about going away to Bishop's College. That's a route you took as well. Is that common, do you think, for elite players from there, where maybe the competition isn't as high because there's not as many players to draw from? What was the thought process behind going away after Bantam?
I think at a young age, you love home and you don't want to go, but then you realize what's best for your hockey career and what you want to do in life, and that's really what made me make that decision. I think just getting away, getting that exposure, more games, more time on the ice, and basically playing off the island, I think it's a big thing. I love going back home and being there, but for the hockey side of it, it's good to get away just for that exposure and development purposes. I think it worked out really good there going to Bishops and then transitioning into the Q. I loved every second of it.
I have to ask about your first 2 years in Drummondville when you were teammates with Jared Baker. Any memories of playing against him in practice? What was he like?
Yeah, I know Bake's pretty good. He's obviously a guy that I was there for my full career when in Drummondville besides last year, and 2 years there spent with Baker. I think it was pretty cool. He's obviously back on the island with Cape there playing for his hometown, so that must be special for him. But we had a good group of guys. Bakes was a funny guy, crazy sometimes, but we got along pretty good. It was good times.
You two were also on the Drummondville team that defeated the Eagles in the playoffs in 2018, your rookie year, but the one game you lost was a triple overtime game. What do you remember about that? Is that the longest game you've played in?
Yeah, it was pretty long. Bakes can reference back to it too, but I remember guys just eating whatever they could in between the periods to get energy, keep going just so they can make it through the game until someone scored. And I just remember everyone coming back to the dressing rooms. You're eating whatever you could to get the energy out there. I say it was the shortest shifts we've ever took in our career, just going out there, getting the puck deep, coming back in, getting guys out, fresh legs for the ozone to try to score. It was a fun experience. Obviously, those are games that you're going to remember.
Something else you are going to remember being part of Team Canada last year, winning gold at the World Juniors, quite the final game against Russia. Just walk us through how incredible that whole experience was.
It's an unbelievable experience when you get to represent your country. With Hockey Canada, it's world class. They do whatever they can to help you and prepare us, and basically I think that was a lot of it. We did what we did and we won the gold medal, which was the full reason we went over there. But it was a pretty thrilling game, obviously. Being down in the third and then coming back and the guys pulling through, we getting the goals and basically having that gold medal around our neck at the end of the day, singing "Oh Canada" was a pretty surreal feeling. Like I said, you're never going to forget that, and I'm very grateful to have the opportunity to try to do it again this year, and I'm going to do whatever I can to make it happen.
People were disappointed last year when the season came to an end because the Eagles had a strong team, but maybe Chicoutimi wasn't really given enough respect in the discussion for a team that could really win after all the trades you made, including the one to bring yourself over. What was the mood like with the Sags? How did you find out the season was coming to an end, and how disappointed were you guys?
Yeah, obviously it was not the best feeling for all the teams trying to make a run for it. Hopefully capture the trophy, and I felt we had a real good, talented group of guys. I think we're just going to keep on getting better as the season went on, and as playoffs continued, I think we're just going to grow as a team. Having some new guys come in, I think we were gelling really good, and the more time we had, I think it was just going to keep on going uphill from there, and I would really like to see what happens. I think we had a special group, and I would have loved to have another chance there at the President's Trophy.
7th player ever from Newfoundland to go in round 1 of the NHL draft. Does that have any extra special meaning for you?
Yeah, obviously it's special just being from Newfoundland on that terms. There's not many players getting drafted in NHL, playing in the World Juniors, and to be one of the slight few, it's pretty special. Obviously, hear my name called in the first round, it was an unbelievable experience. I think just that's a day that you've been waiting for a long time, you've been working towards, and it's finally here. But that's over there now, and there's a lot more work to do to accomplish my goals, and that's the beginning of it. But there's a lot more left. But it was a pretty special feeling being there with my family, enjoying the moment, and hopefully joining the New Jersey Devils pretty soon in the future.
Everybody had you pegged in the first round. You never know where you're going to go. Did you have any indication it was going to be New Jersey? Were they one of the more aggressive teams talking to you before the draft?
I think really going into the draft, you never really know what's going to happen with trades and in terms of guys moving up, guys moving down. And I went in there not knowing which team I was going to end up, if I was going to be in a Canadian squad or in the U.S. And I think New Jersey obviously was a perfect fit when they called my name. They got a lot of young prospects, some great talented ones, and I can certainly see in the future when all of us were playing together, I think it could be a really special group that they're building towards to win a Stanley Cup. So I couldn't be more happy to be drafted by the New Jersey Devils.
Looking forward to the World Juniors. It's going to be a very unique tournament because of everything that's going on. But how different do you envision your role being if you're lucky enough to make the team, because you'll be a veteran player this time around?
Yeah, obviously I want to bring some leadership within this group. It's a very talented squad. Having that experience from last year is going to be really beneficial, and I'm going to use it to my advantage. And obviously I want to have a big impact on the ice on and off, and basically bring my 200-foot game, do whatever it takes to win, and that's what I want to do. We won last year, and that's the goal again this season, and I feel whatever I can bring to the ice is what I'll do, and I feel with that variety in my game, I can play a lot of different roles, being a skilled player, sound defensively, and just bringing that 100% work ethic every night, and I'm sure everything will work out just fine.
You are obviously not going into the bubble, but what does the preparation be like for the team going into the bubble, and how much was halted when you found out there was a positive test in your organization?
Basically, we played against Rimouski and came back and ended up the one positive case was shown, and all the guys got tested and everyone came back negative. It was just the one positive case, which was good, and we never had much contact. And basically, we prepared. We did Zoom training, school. I had some equipment from the rink, and basically I made sure that I just kept on improving. And me and Lapierre were preparing to go to the World Juniors right now, and the guys are preparing to go to the Quebec bubble, so we wanted to make sure we never took any steps back. We just kept on making steps forwards, and I'm sure that's what we did. I think everyone's pretty excited for the next upcoming weeks.
Looking ahead to when the season resumes for yourself in Chicoutimi, what do you see as expectations for this Chicoutimi team? A lot of people feel they may be the strongest team in their division.
I think obviously we have a really talented group there. A lot of teams aren't playing with the Europeans, which are going to make a difference when they come back, and I think we have a lot of top-end guys within the league. I'm excited when we get our full lineup back together and just keep on preparing for the end of the season. 4th year in the league, and my goal is to win a President's Trophy right now in the Q, and got that 1 year left to try to do that, and I'm going to do whatever I can to make that happen. I'm going to keep on working towards it.
Well, hopefully you and everyone else in the league will have the opportunity to try for it. Best of luck going forward, especially with Hockey Canada. Dawson, thanks for this.
No problem. Thank you. I appreciate it. Anytime.
That's Dawson Mercer of the Chicoutimi Saguenéens joining us here for a special installment of Inside Quebec. You're listening to the intermission of McDonald Auto Hub, Cape Breton Eagles Hockey, 1270 CJCB.